So here I hope we don't have GNS. Yeah, we don't have GNS here. It will asking me to download. So if you want to download GNS, you will go to that official website that I'm not going to explain. That go to the GNS3 website and download the setup. Normally, it is not allow you to download without login. So you need to create the account, or you can find the exe file from your friend who already have downloaded. Okay. If I open here, it will give me the download button directly, but download button will ask me to log in. Let's say GNS3. So free download, no any charges. For Windows, Mac, Linux, everywhere available. But if I click on download, it will ask me to log in. Okay. You can create your regular account with your email ID, mobile number, password, regular stuff. So that I no need to do right now. So let it be. And I will take that setup from my physical computer where I have that here, not these tools, but setup. iOS images here. And program. Do we have here GNS? No GNS? Okay, let me go to my drive. Practical lab. Student topology task, other task. Strange. GNS labs. Only labs we have. Practical lab requirement and networking lab requirement and GNS. Download. What happened? Okay, only 5 seconds, 92 MB, it will download it. So this GNS setup, let me put in this GNS file with iOS image, and this I will share. Properties, sharing, advanced sharing, share this iOS image, only 2 people, permission read only, okay, close. And now let's go to that internal machine. Here search for that 192.168 numlock. We are not connected. Yeah, we are connected. Then why? Network, yeah, it's taking time. Okay. So NG lab. We have that data and just copy this to here, let's say lab. or let's say automation lab. I hope everyone know this, right? How to share in data. You are not confusing what I'm doing. It's a badge. That's why I'm asking. So that all setup is here. Good. So normal installation step is not that much different, but I will do some different thing. If you want to follow that, it is your choice. That is not part of course, but extra things. So normally it will asking for GNS, next, agreement, next, where it will install, program file. And here you can see so here virtual machine magnifier will not work properly. Let me do physical machine magnifier. Okay. So here you can see GNS desktop, that is by default you require. If you want that your GNS will also work virtual machine, then you will click this. Right now as a automation we not require this. If let's say it is asking that GNS will require minimum 8 GB RAM or 12 GB, 16 GB RAM, then it is for this option that your GNS working with virtual machine. As a networking practical or this automation, we not require this. Without it also we can do. So this GNS now able to run in even 4 GB RAM. Even your computer, laptop have 4 GB, it will work. We not require this option. And in the tools also there are lots of tools. And these also tools will take extra load. We not require this solar putty. That will take lots of load. Instead of that, use normal putty. Then other thing, it is for what extra. If you want to take remote access, then tight VNC you can use, otherwise not. That is for virtual PC. That is for Qemu OS, that different OS, Dynamips OS and Qemu OS. Again, Qemu OS you require if you want to use virtual machine, otherwise not. There are two kind of iOS. Okay, for your networking. Our iOS is what? Regular router. That is normally we can call this iOS, Internet Networking Operating System. But for simulator, we have two categories. That VIOS, that virtual iOS, and second is what? Dynamics. Dynamics, that means what? Already ready-made code. In that code, like we are doing right now, if else and that condition, that's how it will check. That is actually called simulator. That is packet tracer. That we no need to install the image. While in GNS or EVNG, you know that you need to install the image. So that is all our what? Actually emulator, not a simulator. Emulator, that means what? Just you are getting the virtualization platform, but your image is right. Original OS, which you are using for physical device, that same image is here. No doubt some limitation is there, 100% not same, but it's like a live, real OS, which you are installing in your hardware and using. Well, simulator, that means what? Only there is a code, software, and that software is checking your command and giving you output, not as a live image. So in there also two category in the image, that you want to image directly with this GNS or directly with EVNG, or you want to install that image in the virtual machine. So if you want to install the image in virtual machine, then you require Qemu. If you want to use that virtual router or virtual switch directly with the image in that GNS or in this EVNG directly, you don't need to install, then Dynamips is okay. So this whole thing you can do. Then if you don't want packet capturing, you will remove that Wireshark. My computer already have Wireshark, so I not require that. This whole thing extra tools if you want to use. Otherwise, this whole thing you can remove. And this how you can install the GNS with the less configuration. Next. Now you just need to wait. So I will share this folder, which I just download, this entire folder, okay, lab setup. This folder I will say networking lab requirement, or sorry, automation required data. So in that you will find that Python PDF, what I'm using, then Python setup also there, and then networking lab, you will find that Dynamips image, which I will install right now. After this GNS, I will install that image So you can use your router and virtual IOS. That is for what? If you require separate virtual machine and that you want to work with GNS or EVNG, then you require this VIOS, virtual IOS. Packet tracer, all that setup is there. I will share this folder next. So whatever tools you are select, that will ask again for installation. So that's why you not focus here. I'm explaining extra thing only for. First, I understand. You will do it later. What different image I explain? Yesterday, what you are talking, the deep detail I explain here, the how to use. So focus here. And we can already exist. Do you want to replace? No. So lots of tools is there, which is coming with this kind of GNS also in the EVNG also. If you just like install next finish, you will not get idea actually what they are doing. Completed. Next. So again, it is asking for SolarWind. No, we not require this. Next, start GNS. No. I will never use this. Just finish and open manually. Now it will open thank you page. Close this. Not required to open. And we have GNS. So by default, again, it's like a EVNG, you will find empty. There are no any router, everything I need to install. So just wait, first time it will take time. And keep in mind, here we require only Dynamips image, not the VIOS. It is not compulsory. So what you find here? You will find three options that how you want to use GNS. You want to run with the virtual machine. Again, when you select this, if you want VM and that Qemu OS, we not require that Qemu OS or VIOS. Second is what? Run the appliance in my local computer. So I want this only my local computer, no virtual machine, no internet server. If you do not that, again, sometimes student will facing that issue. That sir, when I stop my Wi-Fi or when I internet close, my GNS not working, my EVNG not working. That is because of that. How you set up it. So third option is for remote server. That compulsory require network and internet. When you stop that, it will disconnect. Your topology will unused, useless. So use second option that run appliance on my local computer. I don't require anything in the virtual. I don't require anything in the remote. Only in my local computer. So there is some limitation. It is saying that it is work only less than or equal to 7200. That image model, router model version. So that is enough. All command we are able to run there only for that other device like ISR, GSR router, and that is not option in GNS. So you will use EVNG for that. There are no option for that. So next. Then it will ask you where is the server path. So in that you don't need to do anything. Just next. Connection be successful. Again next. So it will detail that your GNS from next time working in port number 3080. That means this port number 3080 are GNS server. They're starting the GNS service. And finish. There are new update. Let it be. Do you want to visit website? No. So here you will find this kind of starting console. And what you find here, green color with your machine name, desktop, some code. That is what? Your computer host name. And that is giving you idea that your local server is running. It is what? Server summary with the green color. If you are using GNS and you will find here two green color. That means what? One, obviously, by default, your local server, and also it is using the virtual machine. And sometime if that is not become green, again, your practical will not working because your GNS totally depend on that virtual machine. So if you find that kind of two line here, again, you can remove second thing, setup change, and only continue with your local server. So there are no any dependency. Then what? If I click on the router, nothing is there. If I click on computer, you have the computer. Okay, but again, you need to install that images. This is for firewall, again empty. Switch you have, for switch we not require any image. So let's add the router. So where you go? In the edit and click on the preference. For classroom people, here in the edit and preference, you will find this whole option. In that you can see iOS, that is for what? Virtual iOS. What will use? Dynamips. No Qemu, no virtual iOS. You'll use this Dynamips. You can see here it is a IOU device, it is a Qemu image. Qemu is mostly used for security device. You will find QCOW2 like that. This is for if you want to use your router and switch with the virtual machine. But it is directly we have iOS router. So in the Dynamips, click here, you will find that option. Let me do a little bit smaller. So we'll see in the one image. It is empty, iOS router, and what you can do? New. Add your iOS image, browse that wherever it is available. So with that copy folder, I already copied the image also. Let's go to the desktop, automation lab, and here we have that all images. 2600, 3725, 7200, 7200. We have two images for 7200. Okay. So keep in mind, what is this image name? Image name is what? It is again one fixed format. First is always model number, that in which router it will work. So this image is for what? Router model 7200. This image for router model 2600. Then second, it is used for advert enterprise. It is what? You can count like advanced enterprise. And here it is a version of that. Who create that lab? Then these 124, 124, 152, that is actually your OS version. So that is 12.4. These all are 12.4 OS image. And this is iOS 15.2. So for advanced command, if you find that some command is not working here, then use second 7200 router model and this OS. Getting it? So that's why as a practical right now, this and this enough. Again, let's say if you have some less configuration in your laptop, you want that your GNS working properly, even with the 4 GB RAM, you can use this router and this router. Because when you use this router, it will only take 64 MB RAM. Means one router from your computer, 56 or 64 MB RAM will use. Or let's say if you run more command like ACL and other stuff, then maximum 128 MB RAM from your computer. While here, even you are not doing anything. If you take this router, 7200, from your laptop, it will use 512, half GB. And that's why what? When you take 3-4 router, your computer going hang. 2 router, 1 GB RAM you started. Getting it? So again, it is your choice. Let's say this whole thing I'm explaining. That's why, because if you're already using EVNG, with that, if you want to install GNS, if they start taking load, you can do these small changes. Okay. So right now, let's start with this. I want to add this image. Open 3725. So would you like to decompress? Yes. It will decompress that image and will come here. And there is a path. Next. So what name you want to see? It is your choice. I will keep it like this. Next. You can see here maximum 128 MB. Next. And here you will specify the interface. That in this router, how many interface you want. So we have this FE, that means what? Fast Ethernet. Then here we have another extra new 1 FE, that means 1 fast Ethernet. Here 16 ESW, that means 16 switch port. So right now we not required, it is required when we using switch. So what we'll use? Fast Ethernet, or you can use T. 4T, that means 4 serial. So we'll again use this and let's make it 3 interface. Next. That is for extra WIC. Extra card if you want to add in your router. Let's say I have 3 interface, that is also less interface for me. I want more. So you can add this extra. So right now we not require that, just next. And here it is for idle PC. So what is idle PC? I will explain later during the practical, just right now finish. So one router added with this 3725, but it is called 3700 series. And this whole thing is there, and you find 3 slot with the 3 fast Ethernet. And same way, let me add one more new image, not the existing, new image, and again browse. And this time I will use 7200. Again, OS version is 12.47, but for new model. Open this. So it is a for 7200, you will find here more option. So it's decompressed. Next. Name, again, it is your choice. Next. You can see 512 MB. Next. Here we have more option. We can add gigabit also. We can use 2 fast Ethernet in one slot, or we can use single also. So mostly I will use 2 fast Ethernet in one slot. Then more fast Ethernet. Again, you can see 2 FE. But TX, that means what? Anyone? If you have that idea, cabling concept, if you remember FX and TX and that. This whole thing is speed only. Ethernet and that all speed only. We can add gigabit also, we can add also serial also here. Okay. So that is again your choice. You can add that. Let me add here 2 FE and let me add 1 gigabit. So now this router, whenever I take, always I will get 5 interface. 1 regular 2 fast Ethernet, 2 extra I added, and 1 extra gigabit I added. And you can add more and more because it is a new model router. Even let's say if this 6 is not enough for you, in the next you will add here that WLC also, WIC also. And then again idle PC, finish it. And then apply. Okay. So you can see in the router, you will find that 2 router, which I added. And now, just like a packet tracer, drag and drop. It will give the error. Then what? It will saying that you need to create a file. First, you need to create the project file name. Then you will create. If it is not coming here, then what? Just create a new file. New blank project. And let's say automation lab 1. Now you can see here, that is gone. It is showing what? Empty project. Now you can take it. So R1 is coming, and that is what? 3725. And if I open this, so by default it is stop. We can start that. And then try to open the console. You will find the putty there. Even I remove that solar putty, you know that. So by default putty is there. Why you want to use double console? Solar putty will take extra lots of load. That only I will suggest if you have minimum 8 GB RAM, then use solar putty. And in there also only you are working with GNS or EVNG. Other software on that time running, let's say you're watching some video, or let's say you are recording, checking, or let's say some movies or whatever other thing, extra work is running, then again solar putty will take load. So it started, but very small interface. So let me change that setting. So where is the change setting? Appearance, font, bold, 16. Okay. Apply. Is that visible, guys? Or need to do more bigger? Not for backend people. Okay. Again. 20. Okay. Apply. And then again go to here. Make it default. So that is for R1. If still it is not visible, then you need to come forward. Otherwise, all command will not come in the screen. So here, configure terminal. And if you check how many interface we have, so you can see fast Ethernet 2, 1 slot 0001, Then second that I added 1/0 and 2/0. This is what different slot. First is always representing slot number. So in the 0 slot, we have 2 interface. In the 1 slot, we have 1 interface. In the second slot, we have 1 interface. And same way, let me take this router and start this. Open the console. Wait for small time. You can see here OS version 12.2 and this is 7200 for hardware software. So it will take time because what I told you, it will now counting 512 GB RAM. Sorry, 512 MB. Configure terminal, or again here. So what you find? 1 slot, second slot, so total 2 interface, and here gigabit. So that I just added. So this now our GNS is ready.